What up, everybody? Let me turn this other light on. It's your old buddy Josh. Old buddy Josh. Can you all give me a thumbs up, or someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? It's your old buddy Josh. I'm down in the basement because we're gonna hit the whiteboard here in a little bit. So can you all hear me? Let's see. Everybody hear me? I don't see any thumbs up. All right, so Bruce, there goes Bruce. Right on, Bruce. Right on, Bruce. Bruce follows directions. Thank you, Bruce. All right. Right on, Bruce. I just bought that book, Bruce, from Bart Ehrman. I'm waiting for it to come, so I'm very much looking forward to that. So, all right, cool. Right on, sweet. So we got Pulverizer coming in hot, saying there won't be enough to cover everybody's Social Security benefit. Can I retire? No. Dark Horse Production says, listen, Pablo, I'm working on it. I'm trying to play catch up at 40. It's hard, Pablo. Yep. Only those who believe we land on the moon will get Social Security after 2038. It's probably true. They'll probably do a test. Sean says he can, but without Social Security, I'm not. I don't get it. James is watching his 93-year-old dad. Right on, man. Hope he's doing okay, James. Hope your pop's doing okay. Dan says he retired 4 years ago, claiming next year at 70. Why? Wife is 8 years younger, 100%. Been spending 401k. He is up 20% since retiring. Isn't that funny, man? So you've been spending down your 401k, allowing your Social Security to get those delayed earnings benefits, and yet your Social Security, your 401k is still up 20% from when you retired. Obviously, you retired at the right time, but now you'll be more 401k money and more Social Security. You can't. But we're gonna die! Don't you know that China's gonna sell all of our bonds? Oh my goodness, it's a crap show. We're never gonna be able to pay our debt. Man, we are the what do they say? We're the tallest guy in a midget thing. Can you say midget, small person, whatever the hell they say? Midget, small person, whoever it is. We're the tallest guy in a small person, little person parade, or whatever it's called. I don't know. That's offensive. I don't know what we call people anymore. Small people. We used to call them midgets. That didn't seem to be a problem. I guess we can't say it. Actually, someone will know. Little people, is that what we say? Mike, please don't get weird. What are you talking about? I am weird, dude. I'm very weird. I think men should be men and women should be women. And Tom's in the house. Howdy, Tom. Dean's in the house. Right on, Dean. Saint Pope Francis in the house. My guy says I can tallest midget in the circus. Yeah, but can we say midget anymore? What are those books you got there, Ron? What's those books you got? So Ron's, I can't see what they're showing. Some books. I imagine you're the author. What are those books? But can you say midget anymore? Is that considered? Look, I don't know. I'm an old man. I don't know how this works anymore because everyone's offended by everything. Yeah, but ribeye, I'll New York strip any time of the week, man. I tell you, ribeyes don't. I mean, I'll take them. I'm not mad at them, but New York strip. All right, so we got Fast Eddie. What percentage of people that live to 62 die before their 70th birthday? I have no clue. You can actually look that up pretty easily, frankly. Just off the top of my head. We gotta say little person. Is that what we say now? Little person. So, but how do we say you're the tallest little person in the circus? Is that seems kind of weird, but Columbus, George in the house. Ken from Houston's in the house. James's dad retires as a GM engineer, doing well. My James says retire with the help of Josh. Right on. Salute you, Dad. Salute you, Mr. Palace. I bet he makes a kick-ass baklava. Baklava. Where's it going? All right, so we got Robin. Robin Leach says, my husband, Pat, I'm sorry to hear that, Robin. Should I claim Social Security or spend? Okay, so a good question, Robin. Tallest of the height challenge. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's read Robin's question here. Hey, Jill's in the house. Que paso, Jill? What's up? What's up? Yeah, and here's Jill. She retired 4 years ago, and her accounts are up 25% too. Thanks, Obama. I mean, it's Biden, Jill, right? Thanks, Biden. Jill's gonna get pissed. Jill's Yeah, we are, Bruce. Amar and I are going to go live on Wednesday at 1. If y'all have some thoughts for us, we're always looking for suggestions on what to talk about. So if you guys have anything that's top of the mind, let me know. We can come up with it for sure. Because we don't have. I mean, what's the thing that matters to us is what matters to you guys. I mean, if we talk to ourselves, I'd rather not do that. So just whatever you guys think about, let us know. All right. So again, Robin's husband died this year. All right. So Robin, a couple of things is we know this is going to be the last year you're married filing jointly. All right. So we know for a fact that next year you'll be a single taxpayer, which means you should absolutely. And I don't know anything about Robin Leach. All right. I don't know. But if you were my client, I would say we'd want to look at spending down your TSP so you can take advantage of married filing jointly tax status, because it's much better than a single taxpayer, which will be next year, at least for this year alone, at least. Now, part 2 of this is that you have 2 options. So Robin's old enough to take Social Security. So I'm assuming Robin's at least 62 years old. All right, so Robin has 2 options now. So we still want to take her TSP out because she's married filing joint. And I'm not saying a one lump sum distribution. Do not put words in my mouth. I'm just saying if you need $50,000, take $50,000 from the TSP so you can pay for taxes as a married filing jointly taxpayer. Next year won't. You'll be single. No, qualified widows don't. Everyone says qualified widows. No. All right. So anyway, what happens here is, Robin, your husband, assuming he has Social Security, which I presume he did, and you have your own Social Security because you just said, should I claim Social Security early? So what you can do is you can claim either your survival benefit. It would be reduced because you're early. You're not your full retirement age. That's based on your husband's benefit. Or you can claim your own and allow the survival benefit to grow. That's a good one to go into. Let me bring up the thing here. This is a good one. Here. And I can turn off my dehumidifier because my basement gets pretty moist here in the deep south. Dehumidifier off. I got my cup of Joe here. Not Joe, but I got a cup of my hot tea. Hey, First Sergeant, good morning. We do more before 8 a.m. for most people do all day. All right. So what we're going to do here, Robin Leach, and God bless your husband, Robin. I'm sorry to hear that. How do I hide this? Oh, there we go. All right. So that still seems I guess that seems okay. All right. So Robin, you're going to have your husband's social. All right, husband. We'll just say it's $3,000 a month. And then we're going to have your social. Let's say $2,500 a month. All right. So what happens here is when your husband dies, you have access to the greater of whichever one you want. All right. So what Social Security unfortunately does is they'll say, go ahead and take. But not this. This is a bad. I should do something. I should say. For the time being, let me show you what I'm talking about. So what Social Security will do, and they do this freaking insanely, they'll say, go ahead and take your Social Security because it's greater than your husband's. And I'm not using. We're not having it reduced because of you being before your full retirement age. We'll get into in a second. And that's a mistake, because what you should do is you should take this and allow this to keep growing with a delayed earnings credit. So I don't know what 24% of I don't know what that'd be, but let's say that ends up being $3,500. So what we do is we take a little bit of a lesser benefit on the front end of retirement. My husband's Social Security, his survivor benefit to kick in, and that way my own benefit will keep growing with delayed earnings credit, so that when I'm 70 years old, it'd be worth $3,500. All right, that's a big deal. Social Security, they advise otherwise, which they're not supposed to, but they do. It's a horrible mistake. They'll say, no, go ahead and take the $2,500 because it's worth more than the $2,400, but then you don't get the delayed earnings credits. And there is no delayed earnings credits on husband's Social Security. Yeah, there is no delayed earnings credit. That's just a huge mistake. So ideally, what you're going to want to do here, and again, I don't know your stuff, so just take this with a grain of salt. Ideally, what you want to do is you're going to want to take your husband's Social Security. Now, it will be reduced because you're below your full retirement age, but your own benefit will be reduced as well because you're below your full retirement age. And I'm not going to say it's quite a wash, but you can see that they're both going to be reduced. So you take your husband's social, and then you allow your own to grow. All right. Now, if your own is significantly lower, so if your own is, let's say, $1,500 a month, well, that will never reach $3,000 a month, all right, ever. So the most you'll get for your husband's survivor benefit off your husband's record is when you're 67 years old, your full retirement age, you'll get the full $3,000. In the interim, you might as well go ahead and take your own benefit at $1,500 a month. It will be reduced. We'll just say to $1,200. But you can still get your own, but this will never grow enough to beat your husband's Social Security. So you go ahead and take this guy right here, and then once you hit your full retirement age, claim your husband's benefit. And again, you want to talk to Social Security about this to get the specific numbers. That's the strategy I do. But in the interim, I'm still taking money from my TSP because I want to pay for the taxes while I'm a married filing joint with tax customer. Taxpayer. And this is actually a great segue to the question I want to get into here. Let's just see if old Robs has any other thoughts on this, if she's still on here. Do they change the survivor benefits where a wife can't? No, they didn't. No, they did not do that. Yeah, I would. Not sure. Oh yeah. The PVC pipe of knowledge. Thanks, Tom or Denise. Oh, Tom, I missed the PVC pipe of knowledge. Oh, Tom. Tom's always trolling me on Facebook. It's funny. The family man made a live stream. Yeah, get rid of your family, dude. Be here. All right. So anyway, this is a great segue. My dad is my best friend. He's been a great dad as well. He says retire as soon as you're able to. 100%, man. Yeah. Fondle the like button, please. Dude, oh my goodness. Massage the like button. Oh my goodness. Tickle the like button, because you know how I was listening to Owen Benjamin the other day, Tom's favorite Owen Benjamin, and he would say, you know, everyone says smash the like button or hit the like button. He goes, why so hostile? Why don't you just fondle the like button? And it was so funny. It's like, just, why we gotta be so mean towards the like button? I'm going to curb stomp the like button. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Marie. Oh, that is too funny. I hope you all can still hear me. Pulverizer's here. So I was hoping that Pulverizer would leave us, but I guess he's still here. Move the question off. It was off the screen. Don't forget to fondle. Yeah, right on. There's Glenn. Don't forget to fondle the like button. Oh, that is so funny. Ooh, by the way, maybe if Mar would like talk about Social Security. Hey, but we need more specifics, Penelope. So if you got something more specific, you only got 30 minutes with Amar. Now, I'm letting Amar kind of run the show because it kind of I just whatever he wants it, because he's the guy who comes up to the slide decks and all that. So he does most of the talk, which is fine with me. But anyway, if you guys got something more specific, and to let me know, or I don't know if this is considered or you could email. I don't know if I know how to say that. If you have, I guess I can't say that you could contact Amar. Isn't that weird? Like, if you have a question, you can contact Amar. I can't say that because that's considered solicitation. Like, what? Stupid. But I can't say that, so don't contact Amar. Just let me know, and I'll let Amar know. I'm 33. Should I plan for a life expectancy of 100? I wouldn't. But I wouldn't. Moon-based Air Liberty's here. I would not plan for a life expectancy of 100. Okay, this is Rick Edelman right here. We're all going to live to 120 because of this. Is what the same people say that. The same people say, that battery packs are going to be great. We only need, we'll be able to store all the electricity the world needs in batteries soon. It's coming. I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about that since Thomas Edison's time, and it hasn't happened. Still, good old-fashioned lead acid batteries are still running roughshod over the lithium ions. But at the end of the day, it's coming just right around the corner, kind of like the moon-based people. we're going to be back on the moon. We're going to be back on the moon. I'm telling you. It's like, yeah, they keep kind of like the climate change people. We're going to, the Miami will be underwater by 2020, 2025, 2030. They keep saying this is crazy, but it never happens. So, I mean, look, I don't plan to live to 100. I mean, God willing, I will. I don't know. But, I mean, how many people live to 100? Not very many. Maybe I can converse. Maybe you can cover breaking away from a fiduciary advisor and managing a portfolio on your own. That's a good point. Oh, good point, Jill. All right, that's a good point. Talk about a Mars appreciation for Pink Floyd. I posted so Pulverize, you're like this. I posted this on my Facebook thing the other day. I said, I caught my son listening to Pink Floyd. They're out in the pool, one of his friends, they're listening to Pink Floyd. And I said, what do I do now? I said, this, obviously I failed as a dad. There's Angie. Hey, Angie. So here, so Jill makes a good point. I'm up 20 to 25%. I say, oh, thanks, Biden. Thanks. And, because Jill, she loves Biden. Just joking. She goes, but then she said, I did not say what my personal inflation was. So that's actually a good point. So even though she's up 20, 25%, her personal inflation is up higher than that, is what she would say. And she's probably correct. All right. So I want to go into, you should feel privileged. You should feel privileged. I'm wearing a nice shirt, a nice Georgia Tech shirt. You can believe it, but you'll forget it in 10 minutes. Freshly washed T-shirt. I don't know what to say that. Yeah, no, I do. My hair, at 100%, the hairs get too long, especially on the sides. I don't like when the sides get long. My wife was supposed to cut it today, but I'm going to check the mail. Don't say anything important for the next 3.5 minutes. Wife refuses to get involved to try to understand a retirement plan. Dude, man, my wife 100%. It's just she's oblivious, and no matter what I do, she'll be oblivious. Is there a point where family man's drunk? Is there a pint when you're required to take Social Security? It's a point, not a pint, family man. Get your head out of the gutter, man. Yeah, they're gonna take it at 70. Now, the interesting thing is a video I did earlier today about Trump not having Social Security. I don't know how that works. I don't know if he gave the money back to the treasury or whatnot. But once you hit 70, the Social Security will start sending the money for sure. All right, so we got this guy, John Lyons. Hi, Josh. My wife and I retired a year ago. We both turned 62 this year. At this point, our plan is to take her benefit now, $1,500 per month, assuming that's reduced, and wait for mine at 70. Thoughts? Yeah, I freaking love it, dude. 100%. Absolutely. Love it. I think that's a winning scenario for sure. Yeah, because your wife would be 62. Yep, 100%. I mean, think about it. Between you and your wife, that'd be what, $5,800 a month? That's like $70,000 a year. It's crazy. We will be going back to the moon. We can't even get our 2 astronauts back from the space station because we never went to the moon. That's the issue. But I wonder if Sniffy Heaven is back. So Gmail says the rule recipients to switch between their benefits or spouses to receive, but unless you were born. Oh, that was file and suspend. Those days are over now. Sniffy Joe's the most. Hillary's up there. Obama's up there, but Sniffy Joe's. These guys are just greedy as can be. Yeah, that's file and suspend right there. So we're talking about survivor benefits. That's different. All right, so let me show you this question I want to answer because this is a good one. I'm going to bring it up here. This guy said. Right here. Right there. All right. Can you all see that? So this is from Greg. And Greg says, we are retired. My wife is 63. I'm 62. We're planning on taking Social Security at 70, but I'm thinking that she might take hers sooner and I wait until I'm 70. So his will be about $400 a month. Security is maxed out. So we got he's already said his PIA is $400 a month more than hers. So we're just going to say $3,400. We're going to say $3,000. And I don't have other as long. All right, so she is 62. So we're going to reduce her PIA will be reduced by 32%. So it'll be 2,040. She'll get 2,040 if she takes it early. All right. So he said, what happens if he dies at some point, obviously before he's 70? Will she be able to delay taking his bigger benefit to get the delayed earnings credits? And the answer is no, because the delayed earnings credits don't go for survivor benefits. They don't. It goes assuming that this Greg dies at 70, she would get them. But assuming that Greg dies at 68, she doesn't get extra delayed earnings credits from 68. So what she will get is the amount that Greg's PIA at his death, or the delayed current earnings credits that he would have taken. So she'll get whatever he was entitled to the day he dies. That's it. All right. So what she would do again is the same thing. Is she's going to take her benefit early, so it'll be reduced. Then she'll switch off to the survivor benefits. Now, here's a question I did not know the answer to, and I keep forgetting this. And maybe y'all can look this up. I just forgot. I totally forgot this, because I think we can look this up quite easily. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember. If she takes her own benefit early, her survivor benefit is reduced because she took her own benefit early, I believe. See, now I'm confusing myself because I did not look that up before this meeting. So I was looking something else up before I got on this live stream, and I could not find the answer. Now, see, now I don't know. So if one of y'all could look at this up while we're talking, it'd be helpful. So Denise is out there, so maybe Denise can do this. If, whatever, say, Rob and we got Rob up there and whatever her name is. Shirley says correct. Now I can't, but I said two different things, so I'm not sure what you're saying correct for. All right, so we'll say Jane takes her own benefit before 67, her full retirement age. Will her survivor benefits be reduced because she took her own benefit early? And I don't think it will be, but I can't remember off the top of my head, because your survivor benefits are reduced if you take your survivor benefits early. But she didn't take her survivor benefits early. She'd taken her survivor benefits out of her full retirement age at 67. So she just took her own. So there's a couple things going on. I just can't remember, frankly. So this is everyone, like, who's the guy? Oh, my man, David Carroll. He goes, oh, if you're interviewing people. All right, so Shirley says she will get a reduced amount because she took hers early. See, I'm not sure I know that to be true. So I'd like to see a link on that, Shirley. Yeah, I don't think it's, so see, Dan's saying not reduced. Guy is saying it's absolutely reduced. Guy, we don't. I don't know. I'd like to see a link on that. And we can look it up pretty easily on Savvy Social Security. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I'd like to see what you guys come up with. So Shirley, okay, well, yeah. So Guy is saying Shirley's right. And here's Robin. I thought I read that you only get a spouse. Now we're talking survival benefit. All right, so we're talking survival, not spousal benefit. Just FYI, we're not talking. Remember, there's retirement benefits on your record. Spousal benefit is while you and your spouse are alive. The spousal benefit is half of what your spouse's benefit is. So we're not talking spousal benefit. We're talking survivor benefit. Survivor benefit. That's this whole new thing, whole different thing. Survivor benefit. So the spousal benefit is 100% reduced, but we're not talking spousal benefit. We got to be very clear here now. We're talking survivor. The spouse is dead. He died. If she had taken hers early, is her survivor benefit reduced? I don't think it is. Denise says, I'd like to, so, well, it's definitely the spousal benefit. The spousal benefit is definitely reduced. So Denise is saying, so throw a link in there if you can so you can look at it, because that's an important one. Now, again, I'm saying, so I want to be clear. Yeah, see now, right, so now everyone's, so we know okay, so this is, fungi. So this is a good point. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is, Penelope. So what happens is when you take your survivor benefit, it can be reduced. It can be reduced if you take it before your full retirement age. I'm saying just because she took her own benefit early, she can still wait until she's 67 to take her survivor benefit, and it won't be reduced. All right. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Again, I should have looked this up. I just forgot. Survivors, yeah, but you don't get up till 70. You should not take a survivor benefit past your full retirement age because there's no benefit of that whatsoever. So again, so let me just show them. We're not talking spousal. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I got you, brother. And spousal and survivor are different. 100%, Guy. That's cool. I call you Guy because that's what we call Guy LaFleur, hockey. So survivor benefits, you can be reduced if you take your survivor benefit early. But in this case, we're saying to whatever her name is, Jane, that Jane is going to take her own reduced benefit until she's full. And I didn't say this in the front end. I should have. That probably confused everything. Until she's her full retirement age, 67, and then she can switch over to survivor benefit, and it won't be reduced. All right. Yeah, Gene, if you think Social Security is hard, wait till you look at Medicare. It's insane. That's why you got to contact someone like my man J.O. at Maximizer Medicare or Danielle Roberts over at Boomer Benefits because Medicare is insane. So again, so in this case, we're saying she's going to take reduced benefit off her own record, and then when she hits her full retirement age, she'll switch over to the husband's benefit. Right on, Sergio. You got it. So I think Sergio is right on. In fact, I'm pretty confident that's the case. But if you took your survivor benefit earlier than your full retirement age, then it would be reduced 100%. And ask a couple people questions on this. So what just happened? Did I get one? I have insurance for when that comes. Yeah. No, I got you, Dean. So going back to this question, though, here's the interesting thing. Am I still out there? So what would happen if she takes hers early and then I die before I take it? Can she continue to receive hers and let mine grow until my 70th birthday? So we already know that's not, you can't do that. And then take my Social Security benefits when maxed out. So what I want to, am I still here? Seems like the screen just blacked out. It's kind of weird. So in this case, what I want to show here, and I could not find an answer for it, and I have a couple emails outstanding I'm waiting to hear back on. So in this case, we're going to call her. Got Jane and Greg, right? Okay, right on. So Greg's benefit at his full retirement age is $3,400. That's what she will get if she takes it at her full retirement age. She'll get the greater of her own benefit or his, without question. Right? I mean, I hate to say without question, but I'm pretty confident that's the case. If she takes hers early, then transfers to this later on. The question I have is, can she then transfer back to that if that is now $3,500? And I don't think she can. I'm freezing up periodically. Damn. Dude, I got to call my internet guys. Really getting on my nerves. So she files early, takes her benefit early, reduce higher than this. This won't be reduced. But then, if her own benefit, even though she filed early, grew above her survivor benefit, can she refile for her own benefit? I don't think she can, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. And that's where I'm waiting to find out, because I was looking up a bunch of stuff on socialsecurity.gov, and there's a couple of things that made it seem like she could not do that. But yeah, let me get back. I'm going to go back upstairs. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go upstairs. Yeah, I got to get this fixed. Hold on a second. Bear with me. That really tucks me off, man, because I like doing the whiteboard, but if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn that light off. try to save electricity for Kamala's EV mandates. Kamala. Trump's in Atlanta today. It's funny how the media isn't nearly reporting nearly as much Trump being in Atlanta as they did when Kamala was here the other day. So Kamala's in Atlanta, where she all of a sudden was speaking black and Southern. We gonna win in 2024. It's like, oh, Kamala. Don't you know, 2024, we gonna win? You're like, oh, I didn't realize that you're from the South, Kamala. I mean, what is it with these Democrats who have this need to like try to talk like they're black? It's the weirdest thing, man. Where they think they're Eminem or something like that. What's this? What is 1990s? 1990s. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I gotta get the computer. I pay for Comcast Business. I just been lazy in terms of I don't like people coming to my house. I don't. So I just gotta get him come out here and say, dude, I'm having a hard time with I have Comcast Business that's supposed to be top shelf, and I just gotta get him come out here to look at it because it's probably been 2 years. Don't be making fun of Kamala's Berkeley, California accent. Oof, I don't even know what that sounds like. That sounds painful, Chris. Hey, my man Christopher, are you saying that black people talk a certain way that's very racialist? I just repeat what Kamala said, man. I'm not saying nothing. The accent was horrific and racist. Oh, 100%. It's like when Hillary said, I ain't never traveled no far. I was like, oh, can we just, come on. It's embarrassing. I get so embarrassed by these people. I mean, I had a friend when I was in high school. I think I told you this, but I'm sure I did. He's a black guy. And he was dating this white girl. And we went to go see like a Baltimore Orioles game. It was him, his girlfriend, his girlfriend's dad, and she was very hoity-toity. Let's just put it this way. I can't remember. I almost want to say she's from Massachusetts, but she couldn't have been. But either way, I think she might have been, but very hoity-toity. Probably. My back. Kamal's pissed. Yeah, that's 100% pulverizer. All right, there you go. That literally has never happened before that long. Yeah, so much I'm paying the service. Yeah, it's Comcast, dude. They from Philly. They suck, but I'll try to get it. This is nuts, man. It's really got my nerves. Anyway, so it was Blair High School Gman or Gmail. I need to reset my router once a week. Really? Check your email for message with charts. I don't know what that means. Blair High School, indeed. Yeah. So Gmail. What? It's funny that you asked what Blair. What? You have some connection there? Um. Anyway, so we went to a Baltimore Orioles baseball game, and the dad was just so proud. His daughter was dating a black guy, and it's just like it's so embarrassing. I was like, oh my goodness, it was I was like, come on, please. It's kind of like these people, like, who's a stupid chick, Courtney Cox or something like that. Like, my 3 kids are all trans. They're like so we reset our when you reset it. What do you do? Just unplug it or something like that? I didn't even know how you reset it. Why was Trump was criticizing Kemp and GU with Georgia University? Was that? I don't think it was at Georgia State University not letting all the seats to be filled. Why would Kemp not let all the seats be filled? American mom went to Blair. Carol Brown. That's probably a little bit older than me. A name like Carol. She's probably 1980s or something like that. How do you reset your router? Just plug the thing, unplug it? Is that what you do? Yes, unplug the dang thing. Says unplug for 20. That's all I got to do. Unplug it. Okay, gotcha. Right on, man. Okay, cool. Yeah, see these guys saying press reset button. That Health Experience saying that. You guys are saying unplug. You got to do both or something like that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, we're back now. Anyway, so it was so embarrassing. I was like, oh my goodness. And but it's kind of like how these people are like, oh, my daughters are boys now. I'm so proud of myself. Why did we start bringing up that story? Take all the internet in Georgia. Oh, boy, that's right. Frozen solid. Yeah. That's right. I went Blair. Yeah, that's right, Pam. This country is so racist that you have to have black to win an election, 100%. Because that's how racist we are. Anyway, so more on Social Security. So this is a question I get all the time, and I talk to clients about all the time. It's like, so these 2 people I was talking today, they both have roughly $3,000 a month in Social Security, and the question is, Carl, look, I answered your quote. My favorite misogynist is here. I learned from an episode of South Park to unplug it and plug it back in. Did you also learn who was responsible for 9/11 from South Park? Kyle. Oh my goodness, Kyle was responsible for 9/11. Oh, that's so funny. South Park was so funny. All right, gotcha. Can I show it on my whiteboard? Show what on my whiteboard? I don't get it. Now I'm up here with my dogs. Anyway, so I was saying, yeah, oh, dude, wasn't that classic? I trade you some geology for Wi-Fi tech. Geology. I'm not really good at geology. It's ironic that DEI is touted. Yeah, 100%. That's what, exactly. It's funny. They're like, we want DEI everywhere, and then they say, well, Kamal's DEI. How dare you? How dare you? Back to Social Security. All right. So anyway, yeah. Well, web doesn't affect survivor benefits. It's GPO that affects survivor benefits, and it's 2/3 of your basically 2/3 of your pension is used against your Social Security survivor benefits. So GPO is a big problem. That's a fact. So if you're affected with WEP, that's going to be your own benefit. If you're affected with GPO, that's going to be a big issue. Like I said, you'll lose 2/3 of your pension. Not you don't lose your pension, but you lose 2/3 of your pension from what you could have gotten Social Security. It's a big deal. All right. So in this case, we're dealing with these people today. They're both about 33,000 a month. She's a couple years younger than this guy. And they're like, should we take it at 62? And I was like, no. In fact, if I can find my notepad, I'll show exactly what I showed them. Yeah, right here. I might have thrown it away. No, right here. I said, so what we want to do is we want to live off the barbells, all right, to allow Social Security to grow. In this case, because they're going to be on Obamacare for a little bit. One second. Yeah, dude, that's disgusting. That's freaking disgusting. You got to follow my man Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown was the #1 NBA draft pick in 1999 or 2000. Played with Kobe, played with Shaq. Played 12 years in the NBA. They called him a boss. I'm like, well, he played 12 years, and he's got a great YouTube channel. Very much like his perspective. Anyway, so what we're doing here is like, no. We want to allow Social Security to grow, right? And the reason we want to allow it to grow is because you're going to get $6,000 a month at your full retirement age, $3,000 per. That's $72,000 a year. They're not going to have any mortgage. All their cars are paid for, new cars, no debt. And they're like, they're frugal. They live here in Georgia. I was like, when I say frugal, they're not living cheap, but they're just not high spenders. There goes Pablo. So I said in the interim, what we want to do here now is we want to take some money, enough to qualify for Obamacare. So we got to take some money from this portfolio, and yet we got some cash account too, where we want to live off that as well. So in this case, we're going to allow Social Security to grow. In the interim, we're going to take $50,000 from our cash account, $50,000 from our portfolio. That $50,000 from cash is tax-free. The $50,000 from the portfolio is taxable. That gives you just enough to qualify for Obamacare, but you're going to qualify for massive Obamacare credits. It's a freaking great strategy, man. It's a great strategy right there. Now, what happens when they're on Social Security? Now we go to the barbell and we say, okay, now this cash is not in the retirement account. This money is, all right? So when, at the end of the day, at some point, we're going to have to pull this money out anyway. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce the IRA money as quickly as we can within reason to maintain Obamacare and to allow our Social Security to get growing. You see what I'm saying? And that's a big strategy. That's a big strategy. So they're reducing their future RMDs. They're paying tax. They're paying the tax on the money they're pulling out of their IRA while married filing jointly coupled. Right? They still got enough cash in there, which is tax free to them, to complement their IRA distribution, and they're qualifying for Obamacare. It's a great strategy. We can do Roth conversions later on when they hit 65, but they certainly don't want to do Roth conversions before they're on Medicare. They don't. All right. So now, on the other hand, we got Charlotte and me. All right. So my benefit will be, let's say, I don't know, $3,600 a month at my full retirement age. Charlotte's benefit will say $1,500 a month. All right. So $3,600 a month for me, and I haven't looked up hers for a while, but $1,500. All right. So basically, Charlotte at her full retirement benefit will get $1,800 a month. All right, so Charlotte will get half of mine. That's a spousal benefit. Charlotte will get that. 100%, Christopher. And the same thing happens for singles too. I was like, look, I tell a lot of single guys, yeah, go ahead and take it early, but remember the reason we want to delay Social Security when you're single isn't to protect your surviving spouse. Is literally just to say, hey, I think Social Security is going to be better bang for my buck than the markets, and it will. It will. It might not, but it most likely will. And then when it comes to a tax perspective, these guys are going to have $140,000 of income. They're going to pay $6,000 in taxes. $140,000 of income and $6,000 of taxes. That's it. No tax in Georgia. A little bit, very little tax. They only have to taxable income of $10,000 because once you're 65, you get a $65,000 tax exemption. So married couple filing jointly in the state of Georgia, you get $130,000 tax-free. So they pay a tiny amount of tax in Georgia. They're going to pay $6,000 to the federal government, to Sniffy Joe, on $140,000 of income, just doing the strategy. Now, once RMDs come up, they'll pay a little bit more because RMDs are going to be higher than the amount they need. But still, if we do some Roth conversions and stuff, Yeah, that's a way to tackle this stuff, and it's a wonderful, wonderful way to do. When I turn 62, I look at my portfolio and decide, yeah, well, that's one. Well, don't delay till 67.5. I don't get that, but yeah, 100%. So you just got to look. Do I think my portfolio has a better chance to grow than Social Security? But you also have to look at what is the tax consequences of my portfolio growing and taking Social Security early. Because if I allow my portfolio to keep growing, at some point my portfolio will be where I got to take more and more out, which is going to be taxed more. You got to look at the net proceeds of your portfolio, not just the gross. You got to look at the net. And the thing with Social Security, what a lot of people overlook, is that a lot of that money, if you do it right, can be tax free. In this case, I think it was 60 to 65% of their Social Security is tax free. 60 to 65%. Not 100%, but 60 to 65%. That's a pretty good place to be. Delayed taking, allow Roth conversions. Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy, especially if you're married. If you're single, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't delay solely to do. If I'm single, I'm not doing Roth conversions. So right here, Dean says my portfolio would be very conservative, so I'll delay taking Social Security. Exactly. And then part two is that if you delay taking Social Security and you're pulling money off the portfolio, what you're doing is you're cashing in the gains. All right, so we've had massive run up in the portfolio the last 10, 15 years. Yeah, since 2009, in 15 years. Massive run. I mean, we're talking huge amounts of growth in the portfolio. I did a video on this earlier today. One of the reasons is because Social Security. So at some point, those gains could be fleeting. They might not be, but they could be. So you take Social Security, you take your gains off the table, because Social Security not only continues to go up, but it has a COLA, right? And it goes up each and every year, and it's taxed more favorably than IRA money. So we start taking money out while we have the gains on the table, recognizing we could be leaving money on the table if the market continues to go up, but you're only leaving money on the table for the extent of the distributions you took. It's not like you're saying I'm taking 100% of my portfolio out today. You're taking 50,000 out. That's it. So the rest of the portfolio, 500, 600, 800, 900,000, $1 million bucks, is still growing with whatever the markets do. And that's what you do. And then on top of that, your Social Security is still growing at whatever those COLAs are. And Social Security is tax more beneficial. Can you show the details of $140,000 of income and only $6,000 taxes? Let me see if I can't pull up their 1040, which you won't. I'm not going to share with you. I'll show you the 1040 if I can get it. You won't know who this is, obviously, and you shouldn't know who it is. But let's see. I got to log in here. Just a second. Blink. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. And these guys are just crushed. I love these guys. I tell you, man. I love the people I work with. Very rarely do I get a clown. And usually when I get a clown, I'm pretty good at eliminating him from me working with him. What are you doing, Pablo? Lady Madonna, something, something, something. Can you be a knucklehead and do something, something? Weren't the Beatles like the worst band ever? Oh, I can't believe people like the Beatles. All right, so there we go. You won't know who these people are. So we're going to do a quick screenshot. We're going to show you guys. All right, we're going to delete that. We're going to delete this. Delete that. So check this out. Check this. Lady Madonna, why are the Beatles so popular? They're not a very good band, and their music really stinks. The best British band, The Who. End of story. And the Kinks. Kinks and The Who. So, can I show this to you guys? Does it not let me do it? Hold on a second. Let's see if I can't show this to you. Hold on, ladies and germs. Hold on. Lady Madonna. That song really stinks. All right, how do I show this to you? Window. Oh, window right there. Can you all see this? Yeah, sweet, you can. All right, nice. Fan-diddly-tastic. All right, so what we're going to see here, they're going to have, this is in 2033, all right, it's 10 years from 9 years from now. They have 90,000 in Social Security. That's basically 60,000, 72,000 today. We're inflating it at 2.4% a year. So 10 years from now, it's going to be worth 90,000 bucks. They get $40,000 in IRA distributions. So that's $130,000 of income. All right. Of their 90,000 social, only 41,000 is subject to taxation. That's it. 41,000. That means 59 or 49,000 is not subject to taxation. So we take 40 plus 90, that's 130, basically $132,000 in income. But our AGI is only 82 because 50,000 of our Social Security is tax-free. Our AGI is only 82,000. Take our standard deduction. We take our personal exemption, which will come back come 2026. All right. Our taxable income is only 51,000 bucks. Taxable income is $51,000. Our total tax is $6,371. $6,371. Not too shabby. And that, my friends, is a fact. If that doesn't get you wet your willy, I don't know what will. That's fantastic. Trump crushed the just. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, get my books. I go over it 100%, James. I go over it. Iron Maiden. I mean, I love Black Sabbath. Don't get me wrong. Pink Floyd, not much. Judas Priest, not much. There's a couple of songs I like. Judas Priest. Iron Maiden. I mean, that song, Revelation by Iron Maiden is one of the best songs of all time. Revelation by Iron Maiden. Oh God of earth and all altar, bow down to hear our cry. Our earthly rulers falter, our people drift and die. That is such a good song. Alabama Gulf Coast. Ooh, speaking of which, I was talking to this guy today lived in Florida. He's telling me that there's places where they're putting a special assessment of like $250,000 on condos. I was like, where does that money come from? What if you don't have $250,000 bucks? Isn't that crazy? I have an amazing Excel spreadsheet to break down your taxes. Yeah, my man Daniel Coolbert does at 55e.co. 55e.co. Brad says, I'm planning on taking minus 62, cutting my benefits. My son, yeah, 100%. If you got disabled children, it 100% makes sense to take, or you got young children, it makes sense to take Social Security early. So for me, let me just go back to what I was saying. So here's Big Daddy Josh. We'll say my benefit is $3,600. My wife is $1,500 on her own, or $1,800 if she takes it at her full retirement age, which would be 62. Yeah, 67. But I'm like, no, let's not do that. I mean, why don't you just go ahead and get your own benefit of $1,500? We're going to reduce that by 32%. 1,500 minus 32%. Oops, 32%. That'll be 1,000. So she'll get $1,000 a month. All right. Now she's 4 years younger than me. She'll get $1,000 a month, or she'll get the greater of half of this, but it'll be also reduced because she took it at her before her full retirement age as well. So it'll be $1,800 a month minus 32%, or she'll get $1,224. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to say no. So when she turns 62, I'll be 66. All right. I'm going to wait till I'm 67. Most likely we'll see. I'll pull the plug, take my Social Security. In the interim, she'll get $1,000 a month. And then when I get mine, she'll get a step up of $1,224 because it'll be half of my benefit plus minus the 32% because she took it early, if that makes sense. Because remember, spousal benefits do get reduced if you take it early. Your own benefit and spousal get benefit. So between Charlotte and me, we'll get $1,224, whatever that is, $4,800 a month. That's $60,000 a year. Social Security, no debt, $60,000 a year. Crazy. And then when I go kaplunk, she'll just step into this benefit right here. I mean, hey, loudmouth McGee. I mean, it's a friggin', look, I'm not saying it's a smoking deal, but my goodness, how much you need? When you're 78 years old, how much you need to spend? Oh, I can't afford $5,000 a month. Well, okay, 1,000 of that's going to go to Medicare. We'll say $500 a month go to property tax and homeowners insurance. So if you're $5,000 a month, 1,500 is going to be accounted for. All right, you still got $3,500 a month, and you got cost of living adjustments with no downside market risk. Oh, but they're going to take away Social Security. Oh, you think that's in Alabama too? Is Alabama getting crushed, the issuers? Yeah, 100%, Dean. I completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah, California and Florida property insurance is crisis. This guy says, do stay on task when we talk about Social Security. I've almost all mine in a Roth, so I don't worry much about Roth conversions. But the pension and RMDs could still be not so great. If Trump gets a no tax on Social Security, I'm good. Yeah, what I'm saying, I hope he does. Let me tell you how they'll be there for 19 for me because I'm a tax. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good song. At least it didn't do much for me. All right, so we got Robin says, should we all take more? Oh yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Robin. I mean, look, first of all, I don't think the Democrats are going to raise taxes. I don't. In terms of the Trump tax bill goes away, I don't think they're going to say. So what happens here? If you're in a 12% tax bracket, it goes to 15. If you're in a 22, it goes to 25. 24 goes to 28. All right. On top of that, your standard deduction goes down. They do bring the personal exemption back, but it's not. You're going to pay more tax. There's just no other way around that. And if we remember what Walter Mondale did in 1984, we told the people he's going to raise their taxes. He lost 49 states, and the only state he won was his home state of Minnesota, and he only won that by 5,000 votes. All right, so the Democrats know that raising taxes on middle-class taxpayer is a big fat no-go. So what's going to happen is I think the Trump tax bill, assuming Trump loses, which I think is a pretty safe bet given the shenanigans. But what will happen is they'll come to an agreement like we're not going to raise the tax rates on the 10, 12, 22, and probably 24% tax bracket. But anyone making over 400,000 will pay more tax, something like that. I could easily see that. But I don't think they're going to raise the tax because they don't want to go on they will be responsible for raising taxes. Now, 93, they were also, so check this out. This is how much taxes are still a big deal. George Bush lost because he raised taxes after telling people he was not. Because a lot of people did not want to vote for Bush. I mean, literally a lot. If you listen to Rush Limbaugh back then, Rush Limbaugh was on the Buchanan crusade. Rush Limbaugh did not like Perot, but he was not happy with George H.W. Bush because he said no new taxes, and then he got freaking shivved by George Mitchell, the Senate Majority Leader for Maine. So George Mitchell said, for every $1 of taxes you raise, we'll cut spending by $2. They raised the taxes, but no spending cuts. I mean, he just got shafted. He should have known better. I mean, he was the director of the CIA. I mean, he knows these people. George H.W. Bush should have known, hey, I got you. I got stuff on you. But, he got to play his role. I mean, he knows what his role in the machine is. Then Clinton raised taxes on Social Security beneficiaries in 1993. That's just a fact. They raised taxes, and they raised taxes on Social Security beneficiaries. And then Clinton proceeded to get smoked in 1994 elections. Right? So these are things we know. When they raise taxes, people get pissed, especially in a high inflationary time. They're like, man, I already got to pay more for everything else, and now you're going to have me pay more taxes. The Democrats aren't going to do that. They're not that dumb, especially because they know mid-year elections are coming, and the party out of power usually gets trumped in mid-year elections. So they're just not going to do it. The very few Democrats are going to vote for tax increases unless they're in safe gerrymandered districts. It's just not going to happen. And so I'm not worried about that at all, Rob. I would not. So I would not be like, oh my goodness, I got to do this before the tax rates go up. I just don't see it happen politically. And in fact, even if it does, we're going from 12 to 15. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it's it's more, but it's not going to make or break your overall plans. I like when a guy says stay on. Did I already say that? I think I did. I like when a guy says stay on task, talk about bond funds. I never once talked about bond funds in this episode, so I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I did not see the video of the wife who tried to kill her husband. I bet that happens a lot. If your Social Security is on disability, can she claim early on my record, or does she have to wait until her full retirement age to claim on spouse's record? Man, I don't know. It's a great question. But why would she? So you're going to tell me her Social Security disability, which is basically what she would have got at her full retirement age, will be less than half of yours? That, I mean, it could be. That seems. I mean, it could be. I get you, but so if her Social Security disability, we'll say, is $1,000 a month or less, will she have to wait? I don't know the answer. I assume she does not. I assume she does not. I assume she could file for a spousal benefit whenever she wants, but I don't quote me. I just don't know. Yeah, well, no, I get that. I mean, if I wait till I'm 2020, if I wait till I'm 70, Charlotte will get more in Survivor. I mean, again, like I think Carl was saying, pooping while standing, is he's just going to wait to see what the situation is when he turns 62, and me too. I mean, I'm not going to take at 62, but when I take at 67, if I decide to take at 67, I'll just see what the situation is. Boots on the ground, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. If ideally I'll work till I'm 60. I'm 54 now. Another 6 years of this hard labor. Look at me. This hard labor, getting in front of the camera every day. Woo, this is tough. Talking to a guy today as a warehouse manager. His face was all red. I said, damn, dude. And because he's out there in the heat, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whew, that's a tough gig. That's a tough gig. And I just, I don't have to do that. I'm inside, climate control in my t-shirt, you know what I'm saying, with my dogs. Half the time I'll even shave or shower. You're lucky I even wipe my butt, you know what I'm saying? It's because this is how hard of a job this is. But anyway, if I'm in a hard labor job, I mean, because I'm not in a hard labor job, I'll do this till I'm 60 or so. And, probably still deal with my annual review clients who pay me $500 a year. I won't take on any more clients probably after that. In fact, I will assure you I won't. And that'll be like part-time income essentially. And then I'll do that. And then, hopefully my portfolio, we won't be tapping too much into it. And then by the time I, decide if I'm 67, I want to take it now or I want to wait, we'll see. We'll see. Oh man, that's cool. That chick did. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that black lady Dominic Chick-fil-A. Just saying, not everyone lives to 70, sad but true. Well, that's true. Not everyone lives to 60 either. How would Trump tax plan on limiting Social Security? How would Trump plan on eliminating Social Security tax? Just say if you have Social Security, you're not paying tax on it. Just that's it. Because we know on your 1040 it says how much of your Social Security is subject to taxation. To say we're not going to have that anymore. No more taxation on Social Security. I think it's a great strategy. But it's good. But you see the video I did earlier today? But it's going to rob the government of like $1.6 to $1.8 trillion. $1.6 to $1.8 trillion in revenue over 10 years. I'm like, okay, so that's $160 to $180 billion a year. And then the very two paragraphs later, it said we pay about $86 billion in Social Security taxes. So it's like, where are they getting this $1.6 to $1.8 trillion of lost revenue when we're only paying $86 billion a year in Social Security tax? I mean, come on. We're sending Ukraine well more than $86 billion a year. So basically, our money that we're paying taxes is going to Ukraine, you could say. Screw that, dude. No. People, but it's going to rob the government. Yeah, I'll be a lot more worried about that when they start saying we're going to defund NASA, we're going to defund the Department of Education or something like that. Until they start defunding things, see, this is what drives me up the wall, man. Someone posted a meme today. It was pretty sweet on Facebook. It said, had some guy, I'm not going to find it, said war. And then next to it says, and then next to him had like the Congress. I'll take two, please. And then it said, fix potholes. Fix potholes. And then the Congress like, I don't know if we have the budget for that. You know what I'm saying? It's such a freaking scam. This idea, like, we can't cut tax on Social Security because we need the money. By the way, here's $100 billion going to Ukraine. You're like, what? There's 100, what are we paying her? Freaking, the whole thing is just so stupid. This is my whole thing, man. Like, I don't know. All these people like, oh, the government's going to crash. I'm like, dude, they've been saying that for so long. I don't even think they need the money. I think literally what I mean is I think they say, hey, we're going to print the money until we're just going to print. We don't care. There's no stopping us. Who's stopping them? The Republicans aren't. The Democrats aren't. The Libertarians will never get elected because they're fools. So who's stopping? They just keep printing, and it keeps going on. It keeps going on. It keeps going on. Maybe the modern monetary theorists have some. Maybe they've got some legitimacy there. It's weird. Everyone, I used to be the biggest anti-MMT guy, and I'm not a pro-MMT guy. But at some point, you gotta say to yourself, we've been hearing these fear stories year over year over year, and it never happens. Oh, it's good at this time. So you sound like the climate change people, man. You sound like the climate change people, or the Democrats. The Republicans are going to put blacks in. What did Biden say? Oh, if Romney gets elected, he's going to put y'all back in chains. Yeah, this is insanity. They've been calling Republicans Nazis since freaking Truman ran against Dewey. They're going to get rid of Social Security, Medicare. Medicare wasn't around back then. They're going to get rid of Social Security. They've been saying that since Truman ran against Dewey. They're Nazis. And it's like, okay, where's the jackbooted thugs? They've never ever come around. They've never gotten rid of Social Security ever. Never got rid of Medicare ever. They solidified Obamacare. So this opposition that you talk about simply doesn't exist, and that they keep printing money and no one's any worse for it. It's crazy. So at some point, you gotta say, why is there? So here's my question: why is Social Security the one issue that has everybody up in arms about? Well, if they stop taxes, Social Security will be bankrupt. It's already bankrupt in terms of coming 2035. But you know what's bankrupt in 2035 will be? Bankrupt still means it got 75 cents on the dollar to pay out. But you know what's already bankrupt right now? The federal government. We don't have enough money to pay off these. We're never going to we'll never pay off the debt, ever. It'll never be paid, ever. Can't. There's not enough cash in the circulation to pay off the debt that we have. None. And yet no one's talking about how we funded the military, how we funded freaking federal government. No one talks about that. We're just going to have another budget reconciliation. There's no balance, but nothing like that. So it's kind of like at some point you got to say, maybe they're having all this issue about the money to keep us fired up so we can say the Democrats want to spend, the Republicans want to spend, as opposed to saying you're all spending. Maybe we should just say, hey, why don't we keep the money for ourselves so we can spend it? If we're going to give it to Ukraine, why not give it to us too? Doesn't make sense. Give it to Israel. Give it to us too. Oh, we're going to give all this money to Israel and stuff, all this money to Ukraine. I'm not even talking about military stuff. I'm talking about all the crap that we do. You're funding gender studies on frogs in Malaysia or something like that. It's insanity. So why not say, well, we let the citizens for once get it? All these guys can kiss my ass. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. Every condo beachside is getting hit with. Yeah, is that true, James? So are we talking like tens of thousands of dollars of special assessments? Yeah, you can't tax your way across the country to prosperity. I completely agree with that, 100%. 100%. But my issue is people say, oh, we can't lower taxes on Social Security recipients because they'll add to the budget that we have. Like, dude, the budget's already out of control. So having Social Security recipients receive $86 billion extra, that's not going to break the budget. The whole thing's just so stupid. Yeah, damages from salt spray. Yeah, we talked about that already. If you take your survivor, but remember, you can. So the point here, this guy 3, is we're saying if you take your spousal benefit or your own, actually the point was if you take your own benefit early, that does not mean your survivor benefit will be reduced. Right? You can take your own benefit early, and then when your husband dies, you can say, I will take my survivor benefit at my full retirement age. But I'm not reduced on my own benefit because I took my own. I'm not reduced on the survivor benefit if I took it at the full retirement age because I took my own benefit early. So the spousal benefit and your own benefit they work in tandem. If you take your own benefit early, your spousal benefit is reduced as well. That's a fact. But you can take your own benefit early and still get your max survivor benefit. When I Google survivor benefits, the benefits generally permanently if a widow starts. Yeah, again. But see, this is the thing. There's 2 different types of benefits. All right, so we got to keep this in mind. Survivor benefit is its own unique benefit. I cannot stress this enough. Spousal benefit and your own benefit are the same in terms of if just talk about with Charlotte, if she takes her own benefit early, That will also mean her spousal benefit would be reduced because she took her own benefit early. If she took her own benefit or her spousal benefit early, that has no impact on her ability to take her survivor benefit later on at her full retirement age. I know it's tough, but you got spousal survivor, spousal and own benefit are over here. Survivor benefits over there. You can take your spousal benefit early or your own benefit early. It will be reduced. And then you can still wait to file for your survivor benefit to your full retirement age. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, how's old Josh Shapiro doing? I was hearing a lot of Muslims won't vote for him. Fine with me, man. Which is why the Republicans should, in my opinion, there's votes to be had if Republicans take a more nuanced perspective on the Israel stuff there, the Palestine Israel stuff. There's votes to be had, but Republicans. OnlyFans creators need to pay higher taxes. And I don't know if you want to be doing that. So we're going to say what you do. That'd be like saying gun dealers should pay higher taxes. Yeah. TMI. Try fixing automobiles. No, dude, working on YouTube is 20 times higher than fixing automobiles for 50 years in the dealership. Come on, Steve. This is much harder than that. What are you talking about, dude? That's Steve. He's like, fixing automobiles is harder than being on YouTube. Nah, you crazy, man. This is freaking hard. Come on. Yeah, I completely agree. Ongoing evaluation for Social Security, I completely agree. I don't know about every 6 months. I think that's too much, but every year. John said he retired this year. I turned 70 this month, filed for Social Security. I've been, hey, right on, John, fishing 4 days a week. I don't like it. I don't get how people do that because fishing bores the hell out of me, but more and more power to you, brother. People love this. Guy just talked today again saying, what are you going to do? He wants to go to Florida and fish like every day. Said, really? He goes, I do. And he's from Florida. Go to Florida, fish. I was like, okay. That's where we got to talk about the special assessments. So y'all gonna move back there? He goes, probably not because the special assessments are crazy. Yeah, 65 in 4 months. That does seem weird. Take a 65 in 4 months and 22 days. All right, hey, Carl's got a serious question. Holy crap. I never thought I'd see the day Carl asked a serious question. Just bought a Schwab ETF that invests in age-related companies, Farm LTC, as a hedge against market downsides. Yeah, I don't think there's any. The only hedge against the market downside in terms of being in equities is having puts and option, basically running option contracts against it. That's it. It's kind of like consumer durables are a hedge against recessions. They are until they aren't. So yeah, I market downside. The only hedge you're going to have is if you're going to have options. In true hedge, that's all there is to it. So I wouldn't invest in that, assuming that it could give you protection downside, Carl. Well, the standard deduction already is indexed for inflation. The personal exemption will come back and be indexed for inflation, but it's still going to be lower than what we're getting right now. Your standard deduction is higher than the comparative standard deduction and personal exemption. All right, that's just, and we're talking pretty significant, about $5,000 higher too. So today's standard deduction is higher than both of those things if we did not have the Trump tax bill. And you're paying a lower tax rate as well. So you get higher deductions and lower tax rates. It's absolutely a tax reduction for middle-class Americans. Hey, look at my man up in Maine. Problem is Trump tax cuts simply expire. The Democrats have the best of all worlds. They don't have to actually vote. And they still get but it'll be still right. They don't have to vote, but it'll be a tax raise while we're in office. And they're going to say, who raised my taxes? The Democrats allowed the taxes to go up. And that's just a fact. So I get what you're saying, but I think at the end of the day, the Democrats are not that dumb. They're going to say, no, this will still come back on us. Yeah, you're probably right, Pope Francis. Open Social Security probably does work best for couples. I agree. I think any Social Security tax would be tied to net worth. No way the Democrats will let him have. Yeah, no way, man. I completely agree because they're already saying they're going to cut benefits. So how are they cutting benefits by giving people more money? Well, because it's It'll make benefits run out earlier. Well, benefits actually don't run out first and foremost, but you're going to get more money. And in fact, I just no. The Republicans need to stop being on defense and just go on the attack. That's what I love about Trump. He's like, no, this is what we're going to do. No tax on Social Security. Well, we didn't model this out through the Heritage Foundation. I like the Heritage Foundation. We didn't model this out through the CBO. No. You got some politics, an emotional game. This is why Republicans lose. We're so busy. Let me show you our plan. Here's our plan of doing this. And people are like, nah, just give me the emotional context. It's entertainment, emotional entertainment. And that's it, man. I mean, if politics was based on legitimate white papers and stuff, the Democrats would never win. But it's not. It's based on emotions. That's why they get away with saying the Republicans are Nazis. The Republicans are racist because the Republicans need to just fight back. I am taking new clients, but I don't manage money, Bill. I don't manage money. I don't know where Palm Springs, California is, but Amar Shah and I do, he's out of San Diego, and he and I do live streams every Wednesday. And I can't suggest you look at him or anything because apparently that's a violation of something. I don't know. But if, watch our live streams, and he's in San Diego, Amar Shah and I, and we do live streams every other Wednesday. So we'll be doing one here, and it's coming up Wednesday. So it's a total disgrace to tax Social Security. Heartless bill. Well, yeah, but Reagan started taxing Social Security before that. Just remember that. So it was, and I still think, I know the Democrats controlled the House under Reagan first term. I think Reagan won the Senate in 1980, but I think he lost it in 82 because of mass recession. And when they implemented the tax hikes on Social Security, I think it was a Democratic Senate, and it's definitely a Democratic House. So it's definitely a bipartisan agreement to increase taxes on Social Security. And that 93 is just all Democrats. They controlled everything. Yeah, look at my man Tom, defund NASA. Hey, Tom and I agree on that. My FRA is 66 in 10 months, so Paul is 50. Well, he's born in 1959. I'm living off of IRAs. Yeah, 100%, dude. I complete this, in my opinion, even though Paul's single, this is exactly what I recommend. He takes his Social Security at 70 because he thinks he's going to live long. He's not smoking a carton of Cools. He's not drinking a gallon of Guinness every day. He's like, dude, I'm freaking loving life. I'm crushing. Hopefully he's got a hot girl. Or maybe he's got a hot boy. We're open-minded here at USA at the Heritage Wealth Planning. He's in good health, good family history. So this is exactly what I suggest you do. You take your IRAs down while you can, reduce future RMDs, take some gains off the table in the interim, pay a little bit of tax on the front end, and Social Security will be a bigger bang for your buck. And it's perfect plan, man. 2 feet of rain? Damn, are you kidding me? Holy crap. Dude, we've already had more rain this summer, 4 times than our average or something like that. Dude, that's crazy. Let's see let's try and get some sun tomorrow. A day off. Let's try and get some sun in my white skin. No, tomorrow's gonna be nice. It's gonna be hot though. It'll be sunny, and so I can get some tan. Get my white skin looking all tan. The ladies love it. Get my pearly yellows looking a little bit white because it'll be offset my beautiful, beautiful tan white skin. Yeah, I got here in Alpharetta, Douglas, 90 degrees tomorrow and sunny. And then, it's been hot here in Georgia, but not excruciatingly hot. I mean, we're in the deep South. It's hot, but it hasn't been as hot as people. Yeah, but it's the hottest summer ever. That's not true. It's just not true. Demographics deflation offset inflation by money printing. Yes, that's actually an interesting theory, Celtic. Here's Robin. I want the Feds to stop threatening Americans that they will have to. Yeah, 100%. I completely agree, Rob. It's insane. And, our commitment to Israel will probably get worse under Trump. Our commitment to Ukraine will probably get less. But it's just, why are we even committed to any of these countries? Oh, because it's just, I get so, oh my goodness. I don't get this, in my opinion, this insanity that Israel can do no wrong. It's crazy to me. It's so if Israel started going into freaking Syria, we got to support Israel because the Bible supposedly says that. And it doesn't say pray for Israel in the Bible. It says pray for peace in Jerusalem. One guy was posting the other day on something. He said, this is why Israel. He goes, because Genesis says something. I was like, There was no Israel in Genesis. It didn't. My goodness. I was like, this is crazy. It's crazy. There was no. He's like Genesis said this, that, and the other. It's like there was what? Yeah. See, that's kind of what I'm kind of thinking too, Chuck B. But I got to wait and see what the situation on the ground is. Yes, exactly, Boss Tweed. Defense contractors, man. They are some brutal mofos, man. Let's put it this way. Don't get between a federal government payout and a defense contractor. You'll be bulldozed like you've never seen. I know a bunch of these guys are making bank. And look, nothing wrong. Hey, got to get it while it gets good. But just like, man, this is crazy. What happens? Interest is what happens when interest. So what happens when interest is more than receipts? Why interest? I mean, huh? Because interest is the third largest line item now. So why does it have to do with interest specifically? We got military, we got entitlements, interest. The fourth one, I forgot what it is. I just can't remember. But so that hasn't stopped. This what people. It's weird. It's like, so if military is the top line item, we don't have enough money to fund that. But no one, they're like, yeah, well, it's still the military. Okay. But if it's interest, on the other hand, that's crazy. Then we're going to keep borrowing above and beyond. We're already doing it. The funny thing about the interest, who is receiving the interest? Who gets the interest? Oh, the people who own the bonds. Who owns the bonds? Oh, we do. Americans. Crazy. We own the bonds. We get the interest. So is the interest the Fed's paying us is going to our bank accounts. Crazy how that works. I get more and more money each day by federal money market account because the Fed has kept the interest rate high. Thank you, Jerome Powell. Take from the Fed and put in old buddy Josh's account. Oh, by the way, when I take that money out, or not when I take it out, but when they get interest payment on that, I got to pay tax on it. So the federal government says, we'll give you interest, Josh. Just pay a little bit of tax on that interest payment, and we're all good. I don't understand why people get so wrapped up on the interest payments. And then on top of that, look, so check this out. This is going to rock everybody's world. Everybody's world about ready to get rocked. Now, I'm not bashing your brother. Voter fraud, you're a good guy. I don't care what your wife says. But let's see what happens here. The federal debt isn't going down. It's been going up. And yet, look, the 10-year treasury at 3.79. Did the Fed lower interest rates? No, they have not. The Fed funds rate's still where it is, and yet the interest rates are going down. How could that possibly be? The Fed hasn't done anything. Has the Fed suddenly just bought all kinds of 10-year treasury bonds? I don't think so. So how is the interest rate going down? Oh, because the Fed's talking about potentially lowering the interest rate, and so everybody and their mom jumping on the bandwagon buying bonds because they said they're going to lower interest rates. Yet, wait a second. The debt's going through the roof. The interest is the third largest line item. And yet, with the Fed out doing anything other than Jerome Powell just sniffing his nose, we got interest rates going way down to 3.792 on a 10-year treasury. Then we look at a 30-year treasury. We say, what's interest rates there? 30-year treasury, 4.1. Huh. What? That's impossible. Then we'll see what the money market is. Not the money market, it's a 13-week, 5.03. So we got 5.03 minus. So remember, they've been saying for years inverted yield curve was kind of a recession. We're saving it for years. 5.03 minus 3.7. That's right there. 125 basis points, 124 basis points is the extent of the inverted yield curve from the 13-week treasury and the 10-year treasury. 124 basis points. When's that recession ever going to happen? Now, we did have it in reality. We did have 2 straight quarters of negative GDP, but apparently for some reason that didn't happen as a recession because we still have low unemployment. So the recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. That was recession defined. But I guess because Sniffy Joe's in office, we get to change the definitions. And some right-wing prognosticators are saying that too. It's crazy. So we got a 1.24 as our inverted yield curve. We take that, we divide that by 3.79. So 33% of the yield of the 10-year treasury is inverted. What that means is it's the 13-week T-bill is 33% above that of the 10-year Treasury. No recession. We haven't had it. But the inverted yield curve is coming. It's a recession. Watch you. Guard your wives. Lock up your dogs. Hadn't happened. In the interim, we're just loving that interest just coming on back. Oh, smells good. Love seeing that interest every month. Okay, and how much did Warren Buffett pay? See, Warren Buffett's like 95. So how much did he pay for a kilowatt hour of electricity back then? I'm just curious. How much did Warren Buffett pay for a telephone call from Nebraska to California back when Warren Buffett was born? Kind of crazy. How much did Warren Buffett pay for air conditioning? Kind of crazy. Weird how that works. The dollar is valued only in terms of what it purchases. And right now, because our income is so much higher than it was when Warren Buffett was born, just because a dollar has 6 cents what it is, it still buys a hell of a lot more than it did before. People don't get this. The dollar doesn't buy 6 cents of what it did before. The dollar buys a hell of a lot more because what we have now to purchase with the dollars wasn't even in existence in Warren Buffett's time. It wasn't. So while the dollar has declined in value, the quality of life has gone way up compared to when Warren Buffett was a bouncing baby in diapers. So all this insanity, the dollar's collapsing. It was 6 cents what it was back then. How much? Look, my book right here, I talk all about this. I talk all about how much does it cost to fly from Portland, Maine to California. We couldn't afford it growing up. Now I can take my family we took family of 6 to Calgary, and wasn't cheap, but we couldn't afford anything back when I was a kid. I mean, just the whole thing's stupid. Actually, some of my man on Facebook posted this, which I thought was pretty funny. I'll show. I almost deleted it today, but I said I want to hold this, so I'll hang tight. Right here. Christmas savings sale on that Radio Shack. This, what is it? TRS-80 model, now at its lowest price ever. Regular $3,500. Now it's $3,000. That was in probably the 1970s or something like that. I'm not sure when this was. The median income in the 1970s, what, $12,000? So that cost you a quarter of your median income in the 1970s for that computer, that crappy old computer. Doesn't happen anymore like that, that's for sure. After the condo, restrictions got tightened about building maintenance. I'm not sure what Israel's debt is. Is it low? You can take survivor benefits at age 60 earlier if you're disabled. Yep. Disabled widows benefits, then someone could take as early as age 50. What I'm saying. Yeah, the budget's never gonna get balanced. That's all crazy talk. But I mean, I'd love for it to happen by selling massive amounts of oil, 100%, and electricity that we can generate through nuclear. I'd love it. It's just I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Bruce says this election is about changing the tax code in 2025. Doesn't seem like it. I haven't seen a lot of ads on that at all, as a matter of fact. So many condos everywhere under reserved. It had to hit and that is an issue that states are gonna have to deal with their own pensions and stuff. States can't print their own money. This is the difference between the federal government, states, and then going to these condos. If you don't have your own currency, you can't print your own money to get you out of what you owe. At some point, it's kind of like the same thing with net zero and these idiots with their freaking, got to get rid of fossil fuels. The reality is a bitch, man. It's just a fact. In fact, I just read someplace that New Zealand Airlines, they've recognized net zero as a scam. They're getting rid of it. And just reality is going to settle in at some point. And if your infrastructure is bad, if your condos are under reserved, if your pensions don't have enough reserve, at some point that will come to fruition. The thing that's different with the federal government, they can just print. They can just print. And as long as our economy is the strongest in the world, which it is, people will loan the federal government their money. It's just that simple. And we still, by far and away, have the strongest economy in the world. Nothing comes close. And so people continue to loan us money. And people being, generally speaking, American businesses, American citizens. There's a few Japanese and Chinese and Brits and stuff and Canadians, but not much. Mostly it's just us. Pension plans, insurance companies, investors, mutual funds, individual investors, and what they were buying government bonds. And as long as we're the best game in town, if the town can be crack street, as long as we're only smoking marijuana and everyone else is on crack, we're still looking like we're freaking king of the world. For the love of the good Lord. Government invests in Bitcoin to get out of deficit. Actually, I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a long time. What is Bitcoin doing? I haven't looked at it a long. Have you looked at it, Finnegan? Have you looked at Bitcoin? Let's take a gander at Bitcoin. Last time I saw it was like 65 or something like that. 60. So Bitcoin is at 60. Oh, man, it got up to 73. Holy crap. Yeah. Oh, it's been riding about 60. Oh, yeah. So it's taking a dump here in the last couple of days, it looks like. Yeah, it's at 70, not just, a couple of days ago. Man. Bitcoin is such a joke. But in July, it was down to 55. Holy crap. It went from 72 down to 55. This is why it's never going to be a currency. Well, dude, you can't have a currency with that kind of volatility. These whole people say Bitcoin is a currency. It's just freaking idiot. I don't get that at all. So your only argument is a store of value. It's inherently not a currency. It can't be. So what are you going to, are you absolutely, you're going to say, look, I'm going to buy a pizza. Here or here or right there? No one's going to accept that as a form of payment when they don't know what it's going to be worth the next day. It's insane. So it's not a currency. So the only argument is a store of value. What makes it a store of value? Well, they say because it has 21 million Bitcoins out there. All right. So it's a store of value because there's only so many available to you. No different than a baseball card, Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. It's a store of value because there's only so many Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards that are mint condition. All right, well, what happens when people don't want the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card anymore? Because there's no actual value there. The only value is in what people say is worth. And people are very fleeting. They can say, it ain't worth what I thought it was worth. I'm getting out of here. I have no clue what a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card is doing anymore. I don't know. I had 4. I don't even know if they're mint condition when I was 30 years ago. Sold one on eBay for $80 in 1998 or 1997, maybe 1996, something like that. No clue. I don't know. Same, but Ken Griffey Jr. is going to be whatever someone's willing to pay for. And so a store of value is called the greater fool theory. It's only as valuable as the next guy who's willing to buy it from you. And that guy could say, "I'll pay $100,000 for your Bitcoin." That's fine. But if there's no greater fool and you bought it for $100,000, guess what? You're the greater fool, the greatest fool. I turn signal on. Yeah, so there you go. Pam said, I started taking, so Pam would have got her survivor benefits reduced to what? Is it 82%, Pam? Now, do you still have your own benefit you have access to or no? Do you still have your own benefit? Yeah, look at damn, watch me. Yes, for Charlotte to take a spousal benefit, I have to be taking mine. Right on, Bob. Yes, sir. I left out a word. What are you guys talking about? Retire early with me. I'm 54. I have the option to take $788 a month pension. When I turn 65, roll to my 401k. 65 lump sum. So you got to wait until you're 65 to get that $788 a month, or you can take a $65,000 lump sum. Yeah, I'd probably take the lump sum there, but I'm just doing it off the top of my head. I get 65,000. So let's just see here. We're gonna say, let's say my man here. Actually, no, hang tight on the hang tight. So if this guy retired early with me was able to get, we'll say 7% a year on that 65, that'd be worth $130,000 and when he's 65 years old. All right, so basically we're gonna say He'll get 7% a year on that money, 65 lump sum. I'm just using 10 years for simplicity. So 788 times 12, that's $9,400 divided by 130,000. Yeah, 7%. I'd still probably take the lump sum because I'm just saying if you were to take that 65,000 out, roll into a VTI, get 7% a year on that 65,000, that would be worth $130,000. So what we do is then we say, okay, $788 times 12 is $9,400 or something like that. Divide that by the 130 that he would have got as a lump sum that the lump sum's grown to. What's that payout rate? That's 7%, and I'd still probably take the lump sum actually. But yeah, that's the 7% payout rate is pretty good. But if there's a survivor benefit, he's got to be 65, and it's not good enough for me to take it. Now, if you get 10% a year, I'd take the lump sum. But if you get anything less than 7% a year, I'd definitely take the pension. That's for sure. I mean, just always just a matter of what you can get on the rate of return. If you can get a higher than 7% rate of return on your money, I'd take the lump sum. If you get a lower than 7% rate of return on your money, I'd take the pension. But I don't expect a higher than 7% rate of return, but you never know. My man Jazz, historical performance compared to the market. I'd pay. All right. I watched Jazz's history. I haven't seen that. My man Dustin. He charges 30 basis points for him to manage. Seems like a win-win given his performance versus the index. Oof, man. Yeesh, I'm surprised he's doing that. I like to hear him. I like that he's doing that. I'm just, I hope he's not doing that as a way to bring in assets because you're renting assets at that stage. Because you're saying, look, I did better than the index, invest in me. Because you're not always going to do better than the index. It just can't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, look, I love Dustin. I'm a big fan. So I got no qualm doing it, Carl, but just that would not be the reason I would go with Dustin. That he has beaten the index, thus I'm gonna give him my money, presuming he can continue to beat the index. That's not a good way. I can't imagine Dustin's presenting that like that. In fact, if memory serves, Dustin wasn't taking clients a couple years ago because he was getting too big. But yeah, I mean, but hey, throw him a bone. I got no problem with that at all. Yeah, I don't like that no tax on tips thing. That was stupid. I didn't get that at all. It's like, come on, Trump. Now we're getting stupid. So Dan pays me for financial services. It's a tip, and I don't like that at all. Republicans been saying smaller government well before Reagan, man. My goodness. No, what I'm saying, some ways they're definitely worse than those guys. 100% correct. Damn, look at my man. Condos on beach have a special assessment of 50,000 or more. That's crazy. Where do they have the money? What a roller coaster 2 weeks. Yep, exactly right. No house was Republican in '94 the first time in 54 years. Exactly. All right. Penelope. And it goes up to FRA level. Pope Francis. Oh yeah, dude, can't be any early voting. It's got to be voting on Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month. That's what it should be. It's a tradition. Why we got to get rid of our traditions? What I'm saying. Oh yeah, dude, becoming a loose cannon. Oh, why would it? I don't get. Why does it matter how much cash you have in the bank when you start to collect Social Security? No, it doesn't matter. Exactly. We have to save Ukraine against democracy. Exactly. Yeah, Dick Cheney, he loved him. Hey, Harry. Dick Cheney loved him some big defense industry. Israel isn't trying to take over. They're not trying to take over anywhere. What? They don't want a caliphate or global Sharia law just be left alone in a tiny place. Really? You should be very ashamed, Harry. I don't think that's quite true there, Jill. The idea, I will, dude. The Hamas guys were on paragliders with AK-47 strapped to their belts breached the Israeli border, which is supposedly one of the most protected borders of all the world, and were able to go in there for hours on end, just shooting up the place. If that doesn't sound suspicious to you, not just Jill, but anybody, I got nothing for you. And the IDF would just have their heads up their butts, like, yeah, come on. There's more to this story, dude. I mean, the whole thing is so corrupted, man. I guarantee innocent people are dying on both sides. 100%. Innocent people in Ukraine and Russia are down on both sides, 100%. But in my opinion, this is how evil the people in charge are. They're absolutely willing to sacrifice people to get people up in arms. So they say, oh, you must like Hamas because you think Israel's gone too far. Like, cool. Then other people say, oh, you must be a Zionist because you think Israel wants to exist. I'm like, no. That people can't see the insanity. I got a hang glider. I'm going in. Come on. It's so dumb. Oh my goodness. I'm just sitting there thinking, people fall for it all the time. They say, well, get into it. It's crazy. Abraham was a father of Israel, but Israel did not exist in Genesis, or at least when we're talking Abraham. As a classic car cruising. All right, man. You're cruising the class, pick up chicks, I hope. Exactly. Feeble excuse. Look, I mean, that's what was it Gingrich who said that deficits didn't matter as long as we're growing the economy. And because they know the government can print whatever they want to print. They just know that. And so they say, yeah, we got some deficits. We got some debt that's building because of deficits. As long as the economy's, basically that's the beginning of modern monetary theory. Deficits don't matter. Literally, was it Cheney who said that? Maybe it was Cheney. It wasn't Jack Kemp. It might have been Cheney. Deficits don't matter. And he was right. Why? Because look where we are. Uniparty is real, 100%. I'd rather have lower inflation than higher interest rates on cash. Yeah, well, me too. But the problem is we had still inflation is a little bit lower, but we still had low interest rates on cash. So now we're getting high interest rates on cash and we still have inflation. So can you imagine that we're actually saying recession is coming because unemployment is over 4% now? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Maria. I'm just saying, think how crazy that is. Unemployment is over 4%. It used to be full employment was 5%. Economic textbooks, when I was coming up, 5% was full employment. Remember that? So it's crazy. We're still getting mortgages. We'll just say 7%. 7%. When I got my first mortgage at 7%, I thought that cast me out. Unemployment above 4%, mortgage right around 7%, and that's like bad time. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's nuts how things have changed for sure. All right. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Right here, 100%. If your spouse has not reached full retirement age, Social Security bases the survivor benefit on the deceased primary insurance amount, 100% of the benefit. Exactly, 100%. If the spouse has not reached full retirement age, and took the survivor benefit before reaching full retirement age, the survivor benefit would have been reduced. All right, that's just fact. So again, going back to, I just want to stress again, we're talking spousal versus survivor benefits. Spousal versus survivor benefits. I cannot stress this enough. They're completely different. All right, so you got to know if you take an early benefit on your own record, that also reduces your spousal benefit. That does not inherently reduce your survivor benefit unless you decide to take your survivor benefit before you reach your full retirement age. If you got 4 kids, you'd see different on the cost of clothes. Well, clothes really not a big deal because we get all our clothes from China. We're probably not from China, Vietnam anymore. Our textiles, but food is a bitch. I mean, that's just it's expensive, man. Eating out is nuts, man. It's crazy. Eating out is nuts, but food is very costly. every time we have a dinner, it's probably $30, and that's if we eat at home. I mean, every single dinner for our family is $30. It's crazy. Yeah, it's because the Christians, for some reason, they bought hook, line, and sinker that if we don't support Israel, we're going against God's will. It's literally, it's just, this is what happened when we allowed the Judeo-Christian nonsense to come along. We should never. This is literally, it's insane to me. I don't get it. We're a Judeo-Christian country. No, we're not. We're a Christian country. And we can argue about, are we even a Christian country? That's fine, but don't make the argument that we're a Judeo-Christian. No, we're not. And so the minute that started getting the vernacular, then it's like we have to back Israel no matter what, to show that we're one with God. It's not good. It's bad. And the Republican Party is making a horrific mistake politically by going this route. They think they're going to get a certain group of people's votes, and they're just not going to get many. They're not. And they'll get a few, but a bigger group of people, who is becoming a bigger and bigger group of people because the immigration, they're going to see the exact opposite. So we're appeasing a small group of people who've never been kind to Republican Party. In fact, have actually promoted anti-republicanism, who actively fund the ADL, who hate conservatism, actively fund the SPLC, who hate conservatism and right-wingers. And we're going to pick off 5 or 10% of that group of people, while this other group of people who see it differently are becoming bigger and bigger in our country, who are more conservative than any of it. I mean, Israel mandated vaxes, no freaking gun control. They're all about LGBT. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. Basically, a very socialistic kind of country, and yet somehow that's our main ally. You're like, wait, but they're 100% vax mandate. They don't like firearms, and they're all big on LGBT. Doesn't seem all that conservative to me, frankly. And yet they're going to be sitting there saying, but we got to support them because the Bible tells us. And that's the thing about that ticks me off too. If you actually look at the history of the kingdoms of the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom went through, I can't remember, it was like up to Syria, through Syria. So theoretically, you could say, and I've just drawn a blank. It's been a few months since I was reading those chapters in the Old Testament, but the Northern Kingdoms and the Southern Kingdoms went through Syria and whatnot, or the Northern Kingdom. And so theoretically, Israel has a right to that territory. And then if Israel were to take it, people are like, oh yeah, we got to support Israel. It's in the Bible. Like, it's crazy to me. Well, you must hate the Jews. Not in the least. Love Jews. Big fan. 100%. Love Jews. Same group preference. Jews are crushing it. But the idea that for some reason Israel should be hey, do whatever you want. Israel's all good. You're going after Hamas. Who cares if you take out these cities? Hey, you dropped leaflets in Gaza, so you told people they better clear out. And then, some guys posted this the other day too. I thought it was interesting. What if the Houthis, or whatever they're called, the Iranians, dropped leaflets on Israel and said, "Hey, we're bombing. Better get out." I mean, just think about it. If someone dropped a bunch of leaflets on your town and said, "Hey, we think you're holding terrorists here. You better leave because we're going to bomb you," you'd be like, "Dude, what? I'm not leaving." Well, then you're dead. And if you're dead, it's your fault. If someone did that in America, people go nuts. They're like, well, what? No, yeah, your fault. We dropped the leaflets on you. But I don't want to leave. I'm not holding a terrorist. So someone is, so we're going to bomb the whole damn place. It's crazy to me. And people think that's legitimate. Well, they gave them leaflets. They told them to leave. Like, where are they going to go? It's crazy. I just think it's despicable. I absolutely do. And then we just go to the root cause again of the hand gliders. I don't know what Galt means. Are you talking about John Galt? No, I do. There's an article in the Wall Street Journal about this, Carl, about and in fact, I'll show it to you here. I haven't read it yet. It's very interesting, though. The Great Divide among men and women in their 30s. Let's see if I can't find it, and then we'll get out of here. So God establishes a relationship with Israel through Abraham. All right, so I will bless you, those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. So you're saying God's saying that to Abraham, but Israel wasn't around at that point. There was no Israel as a person then. Israel didn't exist. So how are you saying he's establishing his relationship with Israel through Abraham when there is no Israel at that point? Just because God says, "I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse whom who curses you," I don't get how you make the jump that shows you his relationship of Israel through Abraham when there's no person named Israel at that stage. Jacob wasn't around. I don't get it. I think you're reaching in that regard. And let's see if I can't find that article on. Right here. Oh, check this out. He skipped college to become a repairman. He's on his way to 175,000 a year. Yep, exactly. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal hates Trump, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how much they hate Trump. It's actually kind of funny. One second, if I can find this thing. I might not be able to find it. Damn. Anyway, something on about women. Women and men not seeing eye to eye or something like that is very, very interesting. Anyway, and look, I don't. You can love Israel all you want. I don't care. I just don't think we should be funding Israel. We should be funding Ukraine, while at the same time we have our own citizens that aren't getting funded to the extent that they should be. I just literally, I think it should be America first. Literally, America first. I don't think we should be funding Somalia. I don't think we should have military bases in Germany. I don't think we should have military bases in Japan. None of this crap. Now we're sending destroyers or we're sending aircraft carriers to the Middle East, the Red Sea. What's this about, man? It's crazy. Yeah, food inflation is pretty brutal. No, don't hit the like button. Massage the like button. Tickle the like button. Smooch the like button. Yes, exactly. I remember Net Zero. That's what I was thinking about today, Harry. I was thinking about, like, wasn't Net Zero? Wasn't that an internet company? Yeah. All right. I get out of here, my friends. God bless. I'm gonna go read. I'm reading some Maeve Binchy. Maeve Binchy. I know she's a chick, but I like chick writers, generally speaking. I like her. Ann Siddons. Siddons. I forgot her last name. She wrote a book called Outer Banks, which is fun read. She also wrote a book called I forgot what she wrote a book. Off Season or something like that. Maeve Binchy. Any of y'all ever read Maeve Binchy? Fantastic. Very fun to read. Yeah, but remember what? It's not just military industrial complex. It's education. Remember what? What's his name? Eisenhower said as well about the military industrial complex. He said it was also about education. It's weird how he says scientists are basically for a government pension are dominating the tinkerer in his garage. Yeah, so we're let's say quick prayers for peace in the Middle East, shall we? Dear Heavenly Father, we do pray for our brothers and sisters in the Middle East who are suffering right now under leadership that is just out of control. We pray for our leaders here to see the light of day, to try to avoid more war, more funding of violence, to try to see peace as the only way, and the only way we achieve peace is through an open heart, open hands, open heart. We do need to correct the bad doers, but just try not to, please God, give them the strength to realize the difference between the bad doers and the innocents, who are all obviously the ones who bear the burden of any kind of war. We pray for peace in the Middle East. We pray for peace in Europe. We pray for peace in Africa, peace in Asia. We pray for peace anywhere where violence is happening right now. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. We want let's get a less war and more peace. Less soldiers in Japan and Europe, freaking Africa and the Middle East and South America. Bring them all back, save some serious money. And maybe we won't piss off as many people as we have been. All right, just my thoughts. God bless. We'll see you guys. Oh, dude, I saw that. That was dude. I saw that. That was nuts. That was nuts. Right quick, John. I saw that. I was stunned by that. I was like, what? they're talking about prisoners being violated in their butts, and they're like,